Yes, then we are back again from Brønderslev, ready to go. And I would like to introduce Petro from Ågård IPS, where he's the manager. And Petro have made a very big change on the farm in the 3 years that he has been on the farm. He have lifted the efficiency from 32 to now nearly 40 pigs per year sow, mortality down from 16 till about 10%, and we're producing 6,000 to 7,000 pigs more per year. So with those words, I will give the word to Petro, and we will hear how he look into analysis systematic and how he have made this turnaround for the farm.
Yeah, thank you, Jesper.
Welcome here.
Hi everyone, my name is Petro, and the last 3 years I am a manager in Ågård company, and today we will talk about big production. So it's our meeting plan, and all questions what we will discuss today have an effect of economic of production and save time and money. We are going to speak about how to implement production plan and how to succeed in production by analyze and systematic. So little information about us. We produce now 89,000 piglets per year, and for next year we have a plan to produce 98,000 winners pigs, and we are biot-polled. We have negative PRS status, and with 850 hectare we are mixed food on the farm, so we have a liquid food. And to success the higher level of result, we are start from our beginning. It's a polled, and it's very important here which strategy do you have. If you are buy it or make it own breeding on the farm, age of insemination, how many kind of food do you have, and if you are use it or not ultrasound. And I will tell you what our strategy was and how it was changed by analyze. So we did our own breeding on the farm, which was difficult to control between the rock pigs for export, and before scenaring we decided to buy a polled. And we have tried many combinations with the food until we have found it the optimal one. The next, what is very important, it's how many time we are given to take care polled. If it's enough time to make them, ready with the good conditions before include them to production. And with our plan, what we are using 99% of polled from the animal what we are buying. So what we do? We are stimulate the heat. We are choose the age 25, 26 week old, and the weight on this time should be 120 kilos minimum and maximum 140. And after it should be the fat, back fat 12-15 millimeters. So, and you can see on the right side on the picture we have also paper for each pen on the stable to not make it mistake with many animals on the polled stable. So it's very important how to take care the big amount of polled. And here you can see we compare result 2024 to 2023, and with the new breeding what we are buy, we have now 17.7 live-born per animal, and before it was 15.5, and we are inseminated on the age 34, 36 week old our breeding, and now we do it that in week 30, 31. So, and what we have in the end we have 2.2 live-born pigs more per animal, and we are safe 1 month in production. And it's not only about 1 month in production, but it's also about food, time, and medicine, what we are not spent in that time. But I want to repeat, it's only possible if you give it enough time to make them ready, to make them good conditions, because our animals, what we are inseminated now, younger, they are same condition like it was before, they're older. So it's very, very important how we take care of them on the beginning. The next place what we will talk about is food, and especially the fat oil in food. And all food company was told for us it can help to make it better milk production on the south, and no one promised that it would help to get more liveborn. But since all previous analysis was already been done, we decided to add 2.5% of oil in food. And I will tell you it was our big mistake to do it so fast. After a few days we get big problem in the farming unit, as many sows was stop eat it and stop good enough milk produce, and we are very fast make it decision to go down to 0.5% fat oil on the food, and we are look at how sows accepted this level, and only after we are rise this level step by step until 2.5. So 25 weeks later, from the beginning when we started give oil in the food, we start to account it what result we have it, and we was happy to see that we are growing with the liveborn, but we also found that in one section it happens more fast, and we have a more liveborn in Dracti 2 compared to Dracti 3, and we went to see what could be a problem in Dracti stall. And here on the picture you can see our section 3 in Dracti stall, and one section have a 3 pen, and compared to the section number 2 there are 4 pen on the section, but we start to analyze what could be more different things we have it between one section to another, and we have found a problem. The first problem, it was feeding time. It was took very long time from beginning to the end, and you can see on the picture where it's more stronger sows they get front place, and the gray sows they will stay behind without opportunity to have a food. And same happens when a food was come back, it was same picture on the stable. So the most of the gray sows during all feeding they was keep very high stress level, and even if feeding was finished, the stress level from this sows it was still very high, because many of them it was hungry, they was screaming. And we have found solution for that. We have fixed the problem. We have make it each pen like a single. So, and it's give us opportunity to make it feeding more faster, and we didn't have it anymore. This is sows who will stay behind. All they are was get food in same time. So, and then problem was disappear. But it was not all problem what we have found. And the next problem what we found, it was water. So here you can see it's a SIGES recommendation how much water pigs needed, and today we will talk about pregnancy sows. So you can see on the red line they needed 12-20 liters water per day, and it's very important if we have enough pressure on the system to give them this amount of water every day. Here, if you will look this slide from left side to the right, you will have an answer how we are succeed in our farm. And all what we did in 2024, we are write it on the calendar. And what we do after, we look the details and we analyze where could be a problem and what could be the better solution to fix that problem. And what we saw then it direct install 2, the sows have more water. They have one extra ventile in each pan, and in direct install 3 they didn't have this extra ventile. So our solution was to put calculator for the water on both of section and to see how many water they drink. And also we saw that sows drink different amount of water compared from, it depends from temperature and period of pregnancy sows. But you can see on 11 of July we have a big jump in plus 400 liters. Of course it was more degree in that day, but what is happens, why they start to drink more water? So this is picture, it's answer. We have found it inside pipe garbage installation. So this is garbage, metal garbage. It's from time where it was did montage on the stable, and many of this garbage was running on the pipe, and it was blocked at about 30% capacity for the ventils. So not all ventils give it enough water for the sows. And here you can see it was one more problem. We have 5 places where no inventory. And in each feeding, the 5 animals who was get these places, they didn't have an opportunity to have water. Only the water, what they have it was water from liquid food. So what we did, you can see on the left side, we have put it one extra ventile for these 5 places, and you can see on the cribs it's already with the water, so they start to use this ventile, they start to drink more water. And after 3 months, when we have fixed these 2 problems with the food and water, we analyze again our result on the section 3. And we was very happy to see that we get 0.8 live or more compared to time before. So it was very good point. And you can see here it's how we are in 2024, how we was developed. And we are from 18.2 jumping to 19 liveborn on the average per sows. So we was very happy for the job what we did. The next place, it's very interesting to discuss, because what can happen when you are growing with the level of production, and what it was happens in other place. We get this problem when we start to grow with the liveborn per sows. We start to have more pigs, more newborn pigs per week, and then we start to use more place for newborn. And what is happens, we start to feel that we are not enough the heat on the floor. And you can see here on these pictures, when you see pigs with many diarrhea and hernia, what could be a reason of that? And the first reason, it's not enough heat on the floor. When pigs stay very long time on the corner, they are missing some of feeding from the sows, they are not stimulate sows. And it's work bad for both of, because the sows should stop good milking more faster than it should be, and it's very hard to recover and save all piglets after, when they start to have a diarrhea and get skinny very fast. And especially it's bad work for the to have more broth on the piglets. So, and we also found solution how to fix that. We are, if you look on the right side on the picture, we are make it extra ventile on the heat pipe. With this ventile, we able to clean our heat system with the high pressure. Before we did that without high pressure, and it was not so effectively. And if you look on the right side on the picture, you can see this is black liquid. It's our water from the heat system. So it was many dust inside, which is not given to move it, the hot water faster in the stable. And even we have enough heat on the boiler, we didn't have enough heat in the stable. So it's our steps how we use the heat effectively. The first, we built this extra ventil for cleaning a heat system with the high pressure. The second, we give enough heat in the stable. And it's very important we give for the pigs good conditions, the optimal conditions to have a good start on the beginning. And it's help a lot to have this higher level of production. And the next place what we will talk, it's our management. And it's very important place, and it's very good to have a high level cooperation with the owner and veterinary. You have to be always on the touch with them. And we are, with the owner Michael and veterinary Jesper, did very big management work to succeed higher level in production. But we cannot to make it one, for example, management what we can use in each farm, because we need to account many challenge what is different. But we also can use the main process that each farm have it. And this is main process in Lubestall and Drachtestall. It's how we take care of poult, if we give it enough light. It's water, it's food, it's management, and it's important to be flexible in this place. When we include new employee, and especially when we include new student who will be on support of him, so to show the right and good way on production. And inside all of this process, it has to be systematic and analyze how we are doing all this process. And I have one, for example, with the extra light. You can see where green arrow, it's when we make it extra light, we get 200, 300, from 200 until 320 luxes. And before, we have it only 70, 150 luxes, what it was not enough. But it's very hard to see that problem on the summertime when it's enough light from the outside. So, but it's how it's important to be on the focus always. The main process in forest out, it's condition on the stable, it's heat on the floor, it's water, it's food, and again it's management. And again it's our systematic and analyze how we do all of this process. And I especially write condition on the firing unit, because in this, for example, where green arrow again, it's our forest out, and it's going inside to another building. And it's blending and straw room, and this half of the stable, it's always have it more higher temperature, and we have it 1-2 dead sounds before firing on this half of the stable. And we are looking on solution what we can do, and we have found that solution. You can see on the right side on the roof we are making one more kind of ventilation to give more fresh air on the stable, and then we equalize conditions on the firing unit, and then problem disappear. We didn't have any more dead sounds on the half stable where it was more higher temperature. And then what we should remember, no one process can produce result independently. So we should learn how to take care of production and how to control production when condition changes. And when you will able to do that, then it's basically will running and production too. And when I spoke with my colleague, often I say, don't make it new bicycle. The bicycle was been done before you a long time ago. So all what we need to do, just take care of all of this process. And it's an answer how to get and succeed higher level of result in production. So thank you very much for attention.
Thank you. Thank you, Petro. And we will continue right away with the point that I would be able to talk about the PAS eradication, and then we'll take the questions for both of us at the end. Thank you, Petro. Yeah, thank you. The part I've been working together with Petro and with Michael as the owner is, of course, we talk when we have ideas and etc. But the point that was most veterinary point was this with the PAS eradication, and that was also part of this plan for the last 3 years. This is, you can see on the map where the farm is situated. It's close to Limfjorden. So on the one side, there are not so many neighbors, but still there were some neighbors. So, but what we thought about before deciding was how can we change the health on the farm? Could we maybe sell the pigs better? Could we reduce the workload? It's a quite a big work to vaccinate all weaned piglets, as we did on the farm at that time. We also looked into the eradication in Denmark, or the reduction of PAS in Denmark, and then the geography with the farm close to Limfjorden, situated quite good for eradication. We talked about the economy. Before, we vaccinated the sows 4 times per year, and the gilts on the way in 3 times. So it's a cost around 100 kroner per year sow, and also some work. And then we did half-dose vaccination of all weaners, price of 7-8 kroner. We had on the farm, we had quite a big stress when we did the PAS vaccination, that the sows reacted to it. One summer we had some sows that died together with the vaccination. I think it's also connected with the part Petro mentioned about the oil or the fat in the food. It was not in the food at that time. And I think it's very important with the oil for the production of the animal, but also for the immune system. So this farm was reacting quite heavily to PAS vaccination. And then there could maybe also be some good things about selling the pigs at a higher price in the future after this. The bad things about doing eradication was that we needed to buy in poultry. That would be more expensive. If we started too early and some of the neighbors didn't succeed, there was a risk of getting the disease back again. And then when you do a PAS eradication, normally you will have to empty your weaners section in some part, maybe not completely, but at least in some part. Maybe you need to sell some pigs at 17 kilo, and you of course lose some money from that. Now in the farms that we have here, Ågård APS, they have many weaner stables, so we could move around and thereby minimize the economy of selling a pig that was too small. Here is the farms. It's the 10 farms of Ågård APS is the one with the high, clear red color. And the farm that we talk about today is the farm with the 2,500 sows. That's where you have the arrow. So you can see quite many of the farms is actually laying quite good close to Limfjorden, and there you have some fresh air, you know. Blæsten går frisk over Limfjordens vande. The definition of PRS, you have level 1, where you have the full fire and the disease. You have the level 2, where you are in a sort of balance. You have a little virus, and the level 3. And before we started the eradication, Ågård APS's farms were at level 2 and level 3. And we wanted to move them to level 4, where there's, of course, no antibodies and no virus. So the sows, we kept them as close to level 3 as possible by doing this live vaccine 4 times a year. The gilts, they were home produced, and of course they were through the weaners section where there was a little PRS, and we moved them to step 3 to make them stable with no virus by vaccination 3 times. And then we had the weaners. They were vaccinated with half a dose of modified live vaccine, PRS vaccine, at weaning to keep them stable. So when they moved for selling, it was a PRS stable pig we were selling. The testing, when you do big farm eradication, like in this case, you have to agree that you have to do some sort of testing. In this case, we did a very good testing. We did 10 weeks of processing fluid. That's the testicles and the tails that we collect, freeze, and then we look at what is coming out there. And then at the end, we decided also to do rope, where we do what we call family oral fluids, and that's the saliva from the sows and from the pigs ready to wean. And then we would end up by doing blood test of the gilts that we brought into the farm that was SPF gilts with no PRS. So that's the steps. On the weaners farms, we emptied all of them, and some of them, the bigger ones, we also followed with the blood test. And again, the finisher farms, weaning, emptying the slaughter finisher farms, and blood testing. The plan, here you can see it says weeks, week 50, and that's 2 years ago now. So the planning was actually done 2 years ago for what we are talking about today. And the first blanket vaccination, the first blitz, was done in week 50, and the second one in week number 2 in 22. We stopped taking our own polde in week number 51, and then we waited, and then we started to make this McRebel rules. And actually the farm was always already doing some level of McRebel, where, because we had some diarrhea problems and some influenza problems, so they was already trained in doing this. And then after 11 weeks, in week 13, we started the more hard McRebel rules, where we didn't move between sections. So if a pig was born, then it was raised in that section, and it was weaned together with the others. And if we were making Ammersow, cross-fostering sows, we took away the pigs right away out of Farstall and to Weaners stable. Then we had 2 flows of gilts. We had the original flow and we had the new SPF flow, and that started week 15. And in the plan, when you do an eradication on a big farm like this, then you should leave 16 to 18 weeks after the last time that you do the blitz vaccination. So we started testing in week 20, and we tested for 10-11 weeks on the processing fluid. And then later we tested on the family oral fluids. And in this case, we were so lucky that we have these 5 stables, because then we could decide, now the test is negative, and now the pigs go in that direction. If we only had one weaners farm, then you need to find the right spot at that time where you can empty the farm, or at least make some distance between the pigs that was with PRS and the pigs that's born without PRS. But in this case, we have 5 farms. So when they start running negative, we can make a flow around all farms. And the second half of 23, we emptied the small farms. Actually, we did several times. And at the end of 23, we were quite sure this is success. So we start emptying the big wiener farm also. It's with 8,500 pigs in that farm. And we did a blood test in the big wiener section this year in week 10, and luckily also negative. So success. Here you can see some of the testing, and every time you open an answer like this, it's a little shaky. Ooh. And sometimes shit happens like this, and here you can see this is actually after 5-6 weeks of good testing, suddenly we have one positive. Okay, so from the 22nd of May and until the 29th of June, we didn't have any positive, and then suddenly one. What to do? We talked a little bit on the phone, Michael and Petro and me in those days, and we decided to go, to do the same, to do the McRebel hard, to continue. And luckily, all the way till the 2nd of August, all the rest was negative. So we believed again. And then in September, we did the family oral fluids. That's the wean pigs that are 3 to 4 weeks, and they were all negative. So in October, we put in this SPF Polde gills, and now they were not Polde anymore, they were Gylde. We make them in another farm, and we make them as much pregnant as possible before moving. So we had a long break between the positive and the negative that we put in to really reduce, so as long a break as possible. And luckily, this 20 was also negative 1 year ago, and of course we have tested several times since. So we succeeded from making these 10 highly red farms to 10 green farms. So my last thing I will say here, of course, it's nice to be without PRS. It makes the production more stable, and it takes some cost away from the production. But again, I would say thank you to Petro for the work we have together, because that's absolutely the biggest part of this turnaround on Ågård ApS and this really big race in production. So thank you for that, Petro, and that's the last word. Yes, and then I think Lars Morten, he will take care of the questions, if we have some questions.
Yeah, we are ready to give answer. If you have.
Super. First of all, have we got any questions from this room? Otherwise, we have got a couple from the texts.
Yeah.
The first question, it came in the beginning when we had a little bit problems with the sound. It was with your Gylde, Petro, or Polde. You are inseminating them earlier now than before, and you're still getting more live-born.
And the answer for these questions, it's very important to take care of them, to give enough time, like I was told. And it's also very important to choose the right food, what they need. But we are making many things change. We change also place where we keep them, and the conditions what we have now in week 30, 31, it's the same conditions what we have it before in 34, 36 week old. So it's the key. It's most of it's on the beginning how we are start to take care of them, and of course again we have to be with enough time and no mistake, because it's how we will have in the end of production. So, yeah.
Very good. And then the next question also about the Polde. When you are inseminating them now, what is the back fat of them? How many millimeters are you going for?
It's we have the back fat now on the team on the insemination table 11 and 16 millimeters. And we are decided then who have less than 11, they should stay 1-2 weeks more until we raise this level. over 11. So, and then after we will move this one animal together with a team who will come later. So, yes.
Super. We have more questions.
Yeah. Okay.
From the south, also this is from, was it only in the food in the farrowing table that you added this 2.5% of oil?
We are from the beginning, it's a farrowing unit, but also we are start to give in a Drakestall 1% also on the beginning. So we are start on the whole farm to give the fat and the food. Only it was the different percent what we give, because we understand that we should keep it the good milk production in farrowing unit. They take care of piglets, and we are now, it's our next challenge to have a more winner's pigs per sows. So that's why we keep more higher the fat level in the food in farrowing unit, and but we are still give it in all the rest farm 1% of fat oil.
And can you remember how many feeding units there were per kilogram of food after you added the soya?
No, I don't remember.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then this one is how did you put the high pressure on the heating system?
We have a place well on the beginning. If we can go back maybe. So for the picture, then it will be more easy to explain for the people.
I can go back.
Yeah.
You can explain.
So what we did, we have a place where we connected our high pressure pipe, and after we are close, you can see here it's each pipe has this green ventile. It's what we did for the cleaning system, and this is black ventiles. It's our old ventiles. How we cleaned before, we just disconnected, and the water was just cleaned by itself until we are so okay. It's going already clean water, but with the high pressure when we are connected and close this red ventiles on this photo, then we are allowed to clean nearly 100% of dust from the heat system. So, but it was solution what is coming not from beginning. We have tried many to change for the heat system to have it enough on the stable, and it was a big job from all of us, from my owner Michael and Jesper veterinary, but in the end we did a result where we are satisfied.
Petro, can I ask one question? This dirty water coming out here, is that the first time or is that every time? How is it looking?
Every time it's for the short time it's coming, but it's still coming. So it's it means that water get dust so quickly inside the heat system. So we have to do that only with the high pressure. Without high pressure, it was not possible to get so clean the heat system.
And then, and they're asking also, when you're doing this cleaning pressure, is it between every rotation in the farrowing stable, or how often do you do it now?
We apply it a lot to see how often we are needed. And of course, the best plan to do it always before new farrowing will be, because it also can help if it's especially the farm is not new. It can help to find where the small broken places. So it can be one of the heat pipe underspalt missing the water, and you will not hear that sound until you will use it, the high pressure. So it's the best plan to do it every time.
And then there's a little bit theoretical question here.
Yeah.
When it is dirty water like it was before, is it working more badly because it cannot keep so much heat, or is it working badly because it does not go around so easy?
It was not go around, so it's and it was stay in some of the place on the plate. So some of the pan it was nearly didn't have it, and some of it have a little, and some of it was enough with the heat. So each pan, let's say, it was a little bit different before cleaning, compare with what was happening after. But the dirty water, it was not given to move the hot water fast enough in firing unit. So we have it enough temperature on the boiler, but we didn't have it enough temperature on the floor. So it was running more slowly.
Very good. And then one more question also from Holstebro. This oil you are talking about, Petro, is it just normal soya oil?
Yeah,
or what is it?
It's a normal soya oil, yeah.
Yeah. And then they are very interested in this heating system in the floor. Do you know if all of heating systems can take this high pressure cleaning, or should you be careful in some farms? They think you are expert now, Petro.
Then I should take money for that answer. But I really cannot know if you can use for each heat system which you have it, but probably your owner should know that how the heat system was built. And of course, if you have a standard pipe, then it's should be possible for each farm who is have it.
I guess you can also put the high pressure at a little lower pressure, so so you can decide for the level. Start low, see what happens.
But don't destroy it.
No, exactly. Super. But I think that was all the questions coming in. Thank you very much, you two, for some very interesting presentations. Very, very nice work at Ågaard.
Yeah.
Petro.
Thank you.
Jesper,
Thank you very much for attention.
And the rest of the team.
Yeah, good. Thank you.
Yes, then we go to the next subject, and the next subject is Fokus 35 Future. And the Fokus 35 Future will be Lars Morten telling about how we will try to use the data next year. We will look at some different numbers. And with this new MSM, Lars Morten will tell us about, we can also make some more deeper analysis. So, but the floor is yours, Lars Morten.
Thank you. Thank you. Yep. Super. Thank you, Petro. Yes. What I will talk about is what the future will bring for Fokus 35, about how we can make analysis of our numbers and how we can maybe change some of the things we are looking at in our monthly reports. This is what we are getting each month now, some very good numbers, but we have also heard from some of you that you would like the deadborn per kul to be in percent, so that we are gonna change in the future. Then also we have been thinking about maybe we could have some numbers that is gonna go on a roll. So every 3 months we will have a new number we can benchmark on. And how are we gonna change these numbers? We have made a work with Agrosoft to make this multi-site monitor where we can take all of the data from Agrosoft users who are using this server solution. That means we can just take it from the internet. Cloud Farm, they can't use it yet, but we are hoping that they will be able to, because then we would at least have a double of the number of sows we are going to be able to bring into this system. And it's I was going to try and put a vacuum cleaner on the presentation, but every time I Googled it, it was always with a woman holding it, and my wife said, "You're not allowed." But it's going to suck all of the data from Agrosoft and from Cloud Farm in the future and bring it to us so we can make some very nice analysis of it. We have been working on it for, I think, a little bit over a year. Gerben, he has been the main man. It's been going very slowly, but we gave it some Red Bull, and now it's going to get some wings, and it's going to work very nicely. So at the moment, we have got 54 farms with it and around 42,000 sows where we can take data from. And what can we get out of this? You can see here, this is a graph over sow mortality from all of the farms in the project. So one line is the average sow mortality from all of the sows in that week. So we will be able to, in the future, to see if the sow mortality is going the wrong way. For example, when we are going for summer, I have put these blue markers up there from around week 25 to week 40. Sometimes that's where we have the very hot weather. And we can nearly see that around the summer periods, we are having some more tops on the sow mortality because of heat stress from the sows. And then normally in the winter, it's going down a little bit. Also with the summer, it can be with the farmers using the worst of the grain they have left in the silos as well. But we will be able to update you. So if we can see some trends, something that is going the wrong way, then we can give you a summary of maybe the last 10 weeks and send out for you. This we can also do with live-born and with not farrowing percentage, but scanning percentage. So we can show you if we can see 1 week we are dropping in average maybe 5% in scanning percentage. Then it's not just your farm, it's general, and then maybe it's the semen, and we have to call Hatting to see if they've brought more PRS for us or what is happening. So it'll be a very nice way to monitor in the future. Then also we will be able to make diagrams like this from all of your farms just to see how the averages should be. You can see this is each colonne is the litter. So we have the first litter sows, the second litter sows, and the third litter sows. And then we can see the brown color. That's what we would like most of. That is the number or the percentage of the sows in the litter that is delivering 20 pigs. Then we have the dark blue is 19 pigs, and so on. It goes down. So this will be very nice for us to compare your farms to the average to see where, again, analysis, to see where are we not doing well enough. And especially the litter 1 and 2 is very important because we sometimes talk a lot about this second litter drop. And you can see when we get to the third litter, we have very many sows delivering these 20 pigs at least. For the second litter sows, it's half of them. And I'm pretty sure there will be a lot of the sows that have a litter drop there as well. So again, just so we can benchmark, so we can find the easiest places where we can lift your farms. And then the next thing is that the veterinarians, when we are visiting you, the ones that are in this MSM, we will be having a paper with us where we will register what your farm is like. So we will register, for example, if you are using a milking system or not milking system in farrow stable, if it is wet feed, dry feed, if you have hvileboks per so or feeding on the floor, and so on and so on. And you can also give us some inspiration if you have some things you would like for us to note down as well. And then in the future, we will be able to tick off in this system as well, so we can have results from farms using milk system, opposite farms who are not using milk system. For example, this is not how that is yet, but it will be how it could be. So besætning 1, that could, for example, be milk system, and besætning 2 could be without milk system. And then we could see the difference in maybe the number of dead-born. Milk system doesn't make such a good sense about that, but especially about the feeding units we are giving to the sows before farrowing, and also if we are using glaubersalt, not glaubersalt. We can make a lot of these comparisons, so we can make our advice better when we are visiting your farms, so we can make the health better and your production better. Yes. And this will give inspiration to our coming Focus 35 meetings, where we will maybe have some some presentations where it will be about milk system, not milk system. What do we see is the best and not the best about this? And then if we're talking about the Focus 35 report that you're getting out each month, we talk about this dead-born in percent. And then maybe we can make a roll every 3 months where we have sow mortality every 3 months as well. Total born on the gilts, which is also a very interesting number for us, and then spildfoderdag. So that is what is coming up in the Focus 35 pipeline. And if you have any other wishes, some of you have some very good wishes, for example, the hit list that we started making as well, then please tell us, because this Focus 35 is for you, so we wanted to make it as good for you as possible. Yes.
Yeah. Thank you, Lars Morten. Then we will take questions. Do we have any questions here in Brønderslev about data? Any ideas what we can analyze? Yeah.
I think it's a very good idea to compare the farm who have a production with a milk system and without milk system, because it's a many discussion how it's better and how it's helpful production. And of course, the farm who is used and who is not used don't have to be stay in the same line how we compare or how many winners pigs per sow they have per year, because it can be like a different part of production how we use it and how much we are spended per pigs. So it's very important to see the different what milk can give for us, and it also can be an answer for some of owner if I should use it milk or not use it milk system. So thank you for that offer. Yeah.
Ja, og jeg skal lige check the phone. It's from the south. Can pigs growing come into MSM in the future? Kan vækstgrisebesætninger komme ind i MSM i fremtiden, Lars Morten?
We will check up on that, but I think for the growing pigs, for the climber stables and the slaughter stables, our preferred model there would probably be this Pigs 365 or the Crown Data app. That will also give us some very easy ways to make comparisons between the farms and also gather the data from all of the farms.
Og fra syd står der her gennemsnitlig lægnummer som en del af tallene. The age of the sows as an average should be possible.
Yeah, we will bring that as well.
And I have one question, Lars Morten. The dead sows from 22 to 24, was that falling? De døde søer, blev de mindre?
Yeah, it's looking like it, especially for the farms that we have got. And I thought about what was happening around 22 when I looked at the Focus 35 presentations, and I think in 22 was the year we brought Survivor. So I think it has helped a little bit anyway. Yeah.
I think we will take it as a new subject. Vi tager det som et nyt emne her i 25. We'll try to make it even more low, but that's good. Yeah. One question, Pedro?
Yeah, one more question. Should we make some analysis for climber pigs too? Because it can be maybe also interesting to see how it's going in the climber after. So, if it will be possible.
We would very much like to have focus on the climber stables as well, maybe in a different forum than this when we are going to compare them. But the climber pigs is something we're looking into as well, for sure.
Yes, I think that's the last questions of the day. Dagens sidste spørgsmål. Så nu er det tid til juleøl og julevand og måske lidt mere gruppearbejde rundt i landet. So thank you for today. Now it's time for the Christmas beers. Thank you.